Morning. It's Friday. Friday morning. I'm not fully awake yet. I must have woken up. Well, it was dark when I woke up. So it must have been, I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that. I sort of managed to get back to sleep, I think. Although I'm not too sure. I tossed and turned. And eventually got up at the usual time around 6:30. So yesterday was a walk at Kew, as you will have seen already on Facebook and Instagram and the short that was here on YouTube. We had a lovely walk. It's getting warmer, but the prime objective of going on the walk was to see the roses in bloom, because now is the time when they're all bursting into flower, and of course a lot of them are highly scented. So there's this beautiful scent on the warm air as you're walking around, which is just divine. So took a few bits of footage, so I will run that now, enjoy it. Hopefully I'll have done a little bit of a voiceover as well. Hopefully the sound is okay, because I had a bit of a nightmare with the sound on the last one. I was recording it on my phone. Then I kept getting it wrong because I hate working from any kind of script. Scripts just don't work for me. That's not what I am. That's not who I am. I work with, spontaneous stream of consciousness stuff or improvisation. That's how I work. So when I've written not a script, but a list of sort of things to mention, I find it so hard. I find it so difficult to follow a script. So hopefully I'll be able to have sorted that out for this one. Also, I had some technical difficulties because I was recording it on the phone. And at one point I did a really good take, but for some reason it was all over to one side of the left-hand channel. And then I recorded another piece and it was over to the other side. So, trying to balance that out in post, in editing, was really difficult to do, because my editing program, while it is fairly sophisticated, its mixing capabilities in terms of sound isn't very good. And I couldn't import the sound file to my music editing software. It wouldn't take it. So it was a bit of a pain. And, one of you noticed and made a comment on it. Thank you very much. But there's really very little I can do about that, because by the time I get to that stage of editing, the thought of recording it all again and doing like 10 takes to try and get it right, which is what I had done, does not appeal at that point. I just want to get the video sorted. And, I said to the person who made the comment, look, we're making homemade videos for people at home. It's not going to be perfect. We're not professional filmmakers. We don't have professional equipment. We can't afford professional equipment, So there are going to be mistakes. There are going to be wobbly cameras. There are going to be sound issues, So I think most of you just accept that that is the case, Like I say, we're not filmmakers. We're just sharing our lives in the easiest way that we can. And believe you me, that way involves a lot of work already. Yeah, so. Anywho, here's the Kew footage. Enjoy it. I hope it's not too bad. Good morning. We're here at Kew, and we've specifically come to see the roses. So that's where we're heading first. And as you can see, there's nobody here because we're here for early opening. And we've got virtually the whole place to ourselves. It's great. We're cutting across the grass fields through these cut-throughs, these paths which have been mown, so all the wild grasses can thrive. So I just thought I'd do a little bit of a voiceover to accompany this video. Now, when we go to Kew, we always go to the Brentford gate, which is by the River Thames, and it's got a big car park, so it's perfect for us. And it's the opposite end to the main entrances. So here we're walking through to the Palm House, which is also the home of the Rose Garden. Iconic building. I believe it was opened in 1848 and was apparently painted green originally, and the glass was painted green because they believed that would encourage growth. But here we are in the Rose Garden, which was really the primary reason for going to visit Kew today. Just to see all these roses in bloom is quite spectacular, and there are so many varieties, different types. Old roses, new roses, highly scented roses, and actually the smell in the air in this area in the Rose Garden was just divine, just wafting scents all over. I mean, look at that, it's just beautiful. So we spent quite a bit of time in the Rose Garden itself and then went for a wander around to our usual favourite places. Look at that orange one, I adore that. So this area is by the main entrance, so when visitors come in, they're greeted by this beautiful lake and of course the Palm House as well. And the Rose Garden is just behind that. There's always a lot of geese. I guess it's the amount of water and available food because they always seem to be munching grass and daisies. This is in the Aegeus Garden, which looks at the different types of plants and their sort of evolution. A lot of bees in this garden, I've noticed. A lot of bumblebees, and you've got these old roses which the bees love. There's Paul, hi! He's filming. Look at that rose, just incredible, absolutely stunning. And this one, absolutely beautiful. Look at that view, look at that purple, absolutely gorgeous. I love this combination of the pinky peach with the mauve. Here's the bonsai exhibition, quite lovely. And I love this planting scheme at the end here, absolutely glorious. I thought I'd mention a couple of things about the Kew area itself. It's a town, it's a small town or village, I'm not sure what it's classed as. It's been a sort of settlement for quite some time, and people were drawn to the area because of royalty. I believe that King Edward I established a royal residence in Richmond, later Henry VII built Sheen Palace in 1501. And of course, the courtiers followed and built their own lavish houses in the area. Mary Tudor had a house here in 1522. She built a driveway that connected her house to Richmond Palace. How the other half live, huh? And then an exotic garden was founded in the 1600s by Henry Capel, Baron of Tewkesbury, and this was later developed into a botanic garden by Princess Augusta. She was the mother of King George III, and that was in 1759. And apparently King George inherited the Kew estate in 1772, merged it with the Richmond estate to make two gardens into one. This is the Alpine House, the Davies Alpine House, which borders the Rock Garden. Kew didn't actually open to the general public until 1840. And there were loads of rules, strict rules in place. You had to dress appropriately. You couldn't smoke. You couldn't take prams in there. No food or refreshments were allowed. In 1888, they relaxed that rule and opened a tea pavilion, thank goodness. Gasping for a tea. Now, this is overlooking the rock garden, which has got little fountains, water features, loads of rocks, loads of plants. Kew has got something like 50,000 or more different species of plant. I mean, it's incredible, really, if you think about it. It's such a huge area as well. I think it's something like 300 acres. Over 300 acres, I believe. Incredible. And actually, in terms of the area of Kew itself, the gardens kind of makes up the majority of the actual area of Kew. Beautiful, absolutely stunning planting. I wouldn't like to maintain that garden, I tell you. Now, the rock garden sits right next to the Princess of Wales Conservatory, which was opened in 1987 by Diana, Princess of Wales. A couple of other dates for you. 1896, women were employed for the first time. And in 2003, it became designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This tree you're looking at now is 265 years old. Incredible, and they're supporting it. They're giving it some support in the hope that it may put out new shoots, because it's on its last legs, I think. There you go. So at this point in our walk, we've just dodged a huge crowd of kids, and I said to Paul, come on, quick, let's leg it, get in front of them, which we did. And we're sort of wending our way back to the car now, and we just thought we'd stop by the lake and enjoy the water for a few moments. So that's it, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. And it's back to me on the sofa. So there we have it. That was our walk. Lovely. So what's in store today? Well, as you saw the other day, Wednesday just gone, we had the tree work done, which we're really pleased about. And I noticed this morning, and I took a photo and shared it on Facebook, the amount of sunlight that's now able to get to the bottom of the garden and the end of the lawn, which is great, which means the plants that do grow there have got a better chance of surviving. We tend to keep that area wild, so some years we get euphorbias, some years we've had aquilegia, alkanet, forget-me-nots, but there is a lot of ivy down there now. So yeah, the area needs to be cleared, and I need to remove all the pots that are down there and either give them away or store them somewhere else. We're limited on space, believe it or not. There's also a choicea that needs to be taken control of. There are several self-seeded, I think, dogwoods down there, which I love because they flower. So I just need to take control of the area. It's not a huge area, but it's going to be, a few days' work, probably stretched out over time. Oh, yet again, somebody using our drop curb driveway as a turning area. It's so annoying. I just fear that one day somebody's just going to drive into our car by mistake. Sorry. Yeah, so that's going to take a few years. Well, yeah. Yeah, more like it. A few days' work stretched out. Or one afternoon if I'm totally hyper. Believe me, there are some jobs where I've gone crazy and spent the whole day out there, and got everything done. But the thing going against me today is that it's going to be warm and sticky. So doing jobs in a warm and sticky environment seem twice as hard sometimes. Although, having said that, I did decorating in August during lockdown, and that was boiling hot. I was completely crazy. Yeah. Anywho, pardon me. I've been really sniffly. The air quality, I think, is not great at the moment. I think there's a lot of pollen and dust. So I've been sniffly, sneezy. I've got a sore nose again. I tell ya, ridiculous. I'm going to get on with my day. I'll see you later. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. It's not too early. It's about just gone 10. I've been up for a while. Woke up at 5:30. I was up by 6. Made tea. We've had toast and cereal for breakfast. So the news is there was no thunderstorm after all. We had nothing at all. It completely skirted around London. I think places on the coast, Kent, saw storms. Lucky them. I waited up till, I think, 11:15, something like that. Scanned the horizon from upstairs. There was nothing. We had some rain, which was good. It wasn't terribly heavy, but I think it was relatively prolonged at one stage. So that's good. This morning is bright and breezy and feeling fresher because it was feeling pretty muggy and close yesterday, and the house warmed up, which was lovely, and it's feeling quite pleasant. As you can see, I've got my nightshirt on. I'm not dressed yet, and I probably won't get dressed for a little while because I'm quite comfy in my nice loose clothing. This is the Balinese coffee that was gifted to us by Sharon. It's lovely. Not too strong, just nice. So what am I up to today? Well, I think a fairly quietish day. Paul's out. He's gone down to the plot for a work party. Hurrah! I was toying with the idea of doing some work in the garden today, but I don't think I can be asked. CBA. And it looks like we may get showers at some point because it is bright and breezy, but there are clouds gathering, so we could get more rain. I don't know. I'd rather do the gardening midweek because it means there are fewer people in their gardens and fewer screaming children. Because I'm going to be nearer to the screaming children because I'm at the other end of the garden. That's the thing. I would wear headphones, but both sets of headphones that I've got are wired headphones. Not very practical when you're gardening. You need wireless ones, really. And I'm not about to fork out for wireless headphones at the moment because I simply can't afford it. Because, hey, newsflash, I don't have an income. Apart from YouTube, which is measly. So, yeah. So I'm editing this morning. I've got some vlog editing to do. And then, of course, this afternoon we'll be recording Sunday Chat after lunch. Who's that? Just being nosy. There were an awful lot of people walking down the street last night. There must have been some kind of event on at the local pub, which has become very, very popular. And people use this street to walk down because it kind of comes directly from Hanwell. So when you cross the road, you sort of hit this road. So yeah, people use this road a lot to walk and drive down at a very, very high rate sometimes. A high rate that makes me irate. See what I did there? So yeah, I'm going to get on with my morning. I'll see you later. Yeah. Good morning. Sunday morning. It's about, what time? 9:25. And I really fancied a cooked breakfast, or a fry-up, as we call it in the UK. Although I don't think there are any elements that are actually being fried. Grilled, yes. So let me show you what I'm cooking. And it's not vegan. It's got eggs. We're having eggs because we still eat eggs. We still enjoy eggs. Maybe one day we'll give them up. I don't know. But let me show you what I'm doing. So under the grill, I've got some vegetarian sausages, which are grilling at the moment. I have prepared some tomatoes to grill, which I'm going to be putting next to those sausages shortly. I just wanted to get those sausages going because they were in the freezer. So with my tomatoes, I've got these shop-bought tomatoes, which sometimes can be a little flavourless. So what I tend to do is put a little bit of olive oil on each, plenty of black pepper, a good pinch of salt, and my secret ingredient, a pinch of sugar. Just a pinch. And that helps sweeten them a little bit, give a better flavour, more enjoyment in eating them. I've got a couple of eggs, which I think I'm probably going to scramble, although I have got the frying pan out in case I wanted to have a fried egg, which I haven't had for a long time. I've got a piece of pumpernickel bread and a couple of pittas, and I've got a couple of pans out in case I wanted to scramble the eggs, but I'm definitely going to do some baked beans to serve with it. So I'll show you my breakfast once it's done. So there we have it. Cooked breakfast, baked beans, scrambled eggs, sausages, vegetarian sausages, and grilled tomatoes. Perfect. Can't wait. Good morning. It is like 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God. Paul has dragged me out of bed to go shopping with him. Not really. I've decided to come because we're going to a new little store in Brentford. So
have you ever been in a little store other than Saint Maxime in the south of France?
Yes, the last little store I went to was Santa Maxime, which is just across the bay from Saint-Tropez. That's the last little store that I went into, but it wasn't a posh little store, Paul.
No, it was a very normal French little store with lots of fantastic fresh food in it.
Yeah, and lovely cheeses.
Baby cheeses.
Yeah, we're going down to check the new store out to give it our approval. But
because
I don't think
our old one is shut.
Yeah, the old one's shut. Sorry.
Refurbishment.
Have you not covered that on your vlogs, Paul?
No, I don't do that type of thing.
Well, I will be doing a shopping haul today, unlike Paul, ever. I know, depriving you of those pleasures.
Pleasure.
But yeah, the old one closed, Hanwell. It's being refurbished, and I think 2 stores are being blended into one.
Seamlessly.
Yeah, so there'll no longer be Pound Stretcher and Lidl together, which is a shame because I did like a mosey round Pound Stretcher, Paul.
When was the last time you moseyed round Pound Stretcher, Richard?
About 4 years ago.
Yeah. Maybe that's why.
Well, that's regular in my book in terms of shopping.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to have a little look at this new store. I very much doubt we can film inside because I don't think they like that. Unless we bump into the store manager and I get permission. We'll see. But yes, we're just driving down the Boston Manor Road. We're just crossing the A4, which is a big road. and we shall shortly be at our destination. So there we are. So yeah, keep watching for a shopping haul. Yeah, sorry about the wobbly camera work, it's my phone. But I can report it's a very lovely morning. This is Brentford, this area here. Normally very busy actually, this road, but not too bad at 7 o'clock in the bloody morning.
It's quite busy.
But yeah.
Huge regeneration.
Oh, this area has been regenerated for years. They've been doing stuff. I mean, there's an old knackered police station here. This building here, which they could do with just knocking down, frankly. So Lidl is kind of just around the corner here. It's not a particularly impressive store to look at, is it, from the outside?
No.
No.
And the Thames.
The Thames is just
like
beyond
beyond those houses over there.
that row in the distance there.
But all of this riverside up to Kew has been regenerated over the last 20 years, but this bit in the last 5.
Yeah, whatever. God. What was Brentford famous for in the 70s? Brentford nylons.
Oh,
Yeah. Don't know why. Did they make nylons down here?
I don't know. There were a lot of factories.
Yeah, maybe. So this is the Lidl. The Lidl. It's quite a big store. With quite a big car park as well. There's a few people.
And thankfully empty by the looks of it.
It does look empty, and this building here is Brentford County Court. I received a summons from Brentford County Court once for not paying my poll tax. I was one of those people that refused to pay. So I got sent to court. Yeah, had my moment. No, I didn't really. I just paid it. Here we are. Into the little car park. There we have the new parking rules apply. Customer parking only. There we are. So let's go in. As I say, probably not filming inside. Let's go, Paul. Smile at the camera and look happy that you're shopping.
I am. We need food.
Good. We're back home. Yeah. 3 bags of shopping. Yeah. And it took us, I think, door to door about an hour. The drive down to Brentford takes maybe 10 minutes. So we were in the store for about 50 minutes or so, I guess. So it's time to show you what we purchased from Lidl, Brentford. I wish I could have filmed inside because it's a lovely store, very Scandi inspired. A real feeling of space, good sized aisles, plenty of self-checkouts. I don't know about ordinary checkouts, I don't even know whether they exist anymore. And you also have to scan your receipt to get out. Yeah, so let's get this unpacked and show you what we've got. Quite a lot, doesn't it? But I guess it's not really a sort of week's worth of shopping because there are quite a number of store cupboard things that, you know, won't be consumed this week, and we had to stock up on a couple of other items. So what I'll do is go through what we've got and give you an idea of the price and then tell you how much we paid for it all. So what we got, I'm going to try and go through in order of the receipt. So sweet pointed peppers, they were £1.29, but we got 25% off. Olives with lemon and herbs, we got a couple of those. So they were £1.85 with 15% off. And then there's a trio of olives as well there, same price. Cumberland style vegetarian sausages, there's 2 of those, and they were 2 for £3.50. Cucumber, that was 89p with 15% off. Oat milk, £2.38 for 2. Bubble bath, 99p. Coarse salt, 79p. Then we got some tins, so I've got minestrone soup, 65p. English mustard, 65p. Dijon mustard, 65p. Whole grain mustard, 65p. A tin of lentil soup, 65p. Cream of mushroom soup, 65p. Couple of honeys, which I use for my tea. They were 99p each. We picked up a tin of mixed beans. Going to use them in a salad. 69p. Washing up liquid, aloe vera, 95p. 2 tomato purees. They were 59p each. Greek natural yogurt, we got 2 of those. They were 175 each. Lidl cottage cheese, which is absolutely fantastic. They were £1.39 each. A block of cheddar, which was £5.45. That is crazy. I mean, expensive. I think cheese is expensive at the moment. Some German rye bread, which we love. That's £1.39. A couple of packets of fruit and nut, £1.19 each. Wholemeal bread flour, £1.09. A packet of wraps, just underneath here, 99p. A white cabbage, £1.22. A pack of carrots, 95p. Red onions, 95p. A tin of tomatoes, 47p. Frozen peas, which were in the freezer, they were £1.09. A pack of red potatoes, £1.55. Loose bananas, £1.53. Sweet potatoes, £1.15. Tortilla chips, 57p each. Finally, eggs, organic eggs, £2.49. So there we are, a little shopping haul. Like I say, we don't tend to shop in one place, so we've got a delivery of other stuff coming from Morrison's, because what Paul does is he shops around, checks prices out, and if things are cheaper in Morrison's, he'll have a delivery of Morrison's goods. The primary reason today was to go down and see the new Lidl, out of curiosity, and get a few things that we did need. So, you know, like I said before, there are quite a number of items that are store cupboard items that we've got in stock that won't get used, or will get used over many, many weeks. Tomato puree, for example, I mean, that's going to last quite a long time. And, you know, they don't need to be refrigerated until they're opened. So, the soups, we always have tin soups. I know some people go, ugh, tin soup, how disgusting. But actually, we find them quite good because you add things to them. You use them as a base when you want a very quick lunch. Bread flour and plain flour, they will last for ages. The bubble bath, that lasts for ages. We won't get through all the potatoes in a week. You know, they'll last for a while. So there are things in here that will also go into the freezer. Sausages, we'll pop those into the freezer. They're fine to freeze those type of sausages, no problem at all, and they cook from frozen. So, you know, the cheese will take weeks and weeks to get through because we don't eat that much. But we like to have it in, and of course it's more economical to buy a bigger block. So yeah, it's not a full week's worth of shopping. I would say only a portion of this will be eaten within a week or so. Yeah, I mean, even the Greek yogurt, that'll take a while to get through because that lasts for ages, you know. So the total cost for all of this is £51.80. And I think Lidl has an app, and on that app they'll give you discounts. I don't really know much about it because I don't do the shopping, but yeah, so they have discounts that are tailored for you, I believe. So yeah, not bad. I mean, remember, this is for 2 people as well. And actually, you know, many of these ingredients go towards meals, as well as snacks. So it's not too bad if you consider that's £25 each, £25 per person. It's not bad. And of course we do make most things from scratch. You know, we have a few processed foods like these sausages, but we don't eat them every day. And you know, they are a bit of a treat. And of course tinned food, I guess some people would consider that to be processed, but like I said earlier, it's a really good way of putting together a quick lunch. So yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now. Morning. Morning, it's Tuesday. It's about, I don't know, nearly 11:10 in the morning. I've just got my coffee on. I've had a slow start. Yesterday afternoon I did quite a bit of typing towards my cookery book, or our cookery book, as I should start calling it. It's a joint effort, although I'm doing all the donkey work, frankly. And this morning I've done a little bit more of that. So I've been trying to work on improving my workflow, because it's kind of bitty, the work I'm doing at the moment. I'm compiling the cookery book, so I'm putting together all the recipes that we've ever done on YouTube, along with links, with a scannable QR code, the description, the ingredients, the method. That's all got to be sort of compiled into one document. But at the same time, I'm working on a set of downloadable recipe cards as well, that are downloadable and either can be used on your phone or can be printed and compiled yourself. So I've done some work on that this morning. I'm not great on the computer because, I mean, it's no secret my eyes aren't the best, to be honest. I probably need cataract surgery quite soon. And I do get floaters in one of my eyes, which is down to the operation that I had back in 2004 for a detached retina. So I'm partially blind in my right eye. Yeah, that is my right eye. This is a mirror image video. The camera flips it round. So yeah, so I struggle with computers to a certain degree. I can only do so much computer work in one go. That's my coffee. My eyesight's okay. Distance-wise, it's fine. I don't notice the blind spot. But close-up work and computer work, I struggle with. Anywho, back to today. So, I'm about to do some cookery. Yeah. Come on, coffee. I'm just doing a small one. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, I'm about to do some cookery, so I need to get on with that. But yes, I have been doing bits and pieces this morning, but it feels like a slow start. Paul got up early. Well, we both got up at the same time, and he's gone down to Vanessa's to work there for the day. So I'm just getting on with bits and pieces. I've got some housework I need to do as well. What else? What else am I doing? Cookery. I'll do some more typing. I'm trying to do a little bit every day at the moment. Well, this week I'm starting with that goal. And I think I've got to about, I think it's about 15 or 15, yeah, 15 recipes typed up. So, and there's also a lot of copying and pasting going on as well, you know, but it's all fiddly and it's across sort of different platforms, Adobe Express, which I'm using to make the recipe cards, Word, YouTube, Google Documents. There's a lot of, you know, it's fiddly. So I've kind of worked out a better workflow yesterday using my tablet, because I can sit anywhere with my tablet. I find sitting at the desk for too long on that god-awful chair that we've got just doesn't work for me. And also, you know, I spend a significant amount of time up there editing as well. So I don't want to be in a position where I'm sat at the desk all day long. I'd rather sit in other places. So I thought to myself, use my tablet. You know, it's a large tablet. It's got a good keyboard on it. So I found using that yesterday enabled me to move around the house and use different locations to work in, which I prefer. So it's kind of, when you're working on a project like this, it's kind of finding what works for you. And I think for me at the moment, there's a huge part of me that does not want to be in that sort of office type situation, you know, because I did that for, you know, nearly 18 years, stuck in an office, in the same place, the same position, typing away. No, I don't want that now. I also want to be able to move with the light, you know. If I fancy sitting in the dining room when the sun's coming in and the garden's looking pretty, then I can do that. If I want to sit in the front room, you know, in the afternoon when the sun's coming in, I can. I don't have to be stuck at the top of the house in the heat. I'm rambling now, but I wanted to share that with you. So I think it's important when you work from home that you're doing it happily, you know. So I'm trying to find that balance for this project. Yeah, what else did I want to mention? Oh yeah, the heat wave. We're in the middle of a heat wave. The temperature, let me go and look at the temperature. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place this morning. Let me show you. So bear in mind that this is in the full sun, but you can see how fierce the sun is at the moment. 33.4 degrees on the patio in full sun. 20 degrees inside the house. I mean, isn't that wonderful? It's very pleasant. 58% humidity, and the pressure is staying pretty level at the moment. So we're in, I think, high pressure, and it's not changing. Yeah, pretty level. Which of course means that we're guaranteed this kind of weather for a length of time. So yeah, that doesn't bode well for me in terms of wanting to get gardening done, because gardening in hot weather and full sun is not my thing. And we do get quite a lot of sun. In fact, we're getting so much more sun at the bottom of the garden now. It's fabulous. But the garden, because it's been so dry, it's already looking tired, you know. It's only middle of June and the garden's looking as though it's kind of giving up. And of course, the other thing to consider is the price of water. So I'm not sticking the sprinkler on every night. I'm doing it maybe every couple of days for about half an hour in different areas of the garden, just to give it a little bit of moisture, because I planted some things recently and they need a good start. So there you go. So I better carry on with my day. I've got a cooking video to make. You may have seen it by the time this comes out. I don't know. It depends on how quick I am to get it all sorted and edited and uploaded, etc. Yeah, but I better get on. Otherwise the day is going to slip away. Oi, oi. It is Tuesday afternoon. Oh, it's been a warm one. It really has. What is the temperature now? It's dropped to 26. But yeah, when you're doing things, it's feeling quite warm, but nice. I'm not complaining. Love it. And the sun's streaming in, as you can see, into this room, which kind of gets the sun in the late afternoon for a period of time. So I did the sun-dried tomato pesto. We're going to have that for our dinner tonight. Well, some of it, because there's enough to do so many portions of pasta. So I'm thinking of doing something else with part of it. You'll have to wait and see. That may be later this week. I've got an idea that I'm mulling over to try. So it might have been a quick recipe, but there's quite a lot of work that goes into it because I use the Magimix. And when you use the Magimix, you've got to wash everything by hand because otherwise the dishwasher ruins it. It ruins the plastic. I've just put a load away from the dishwasher, just put a few things in, done some washing up, put things away, put some washing away, vacuumed around, and I'm about to do a little bit of dusting before Paul gets in. So yeah, quite a busy afternoon. And I did a little bit of work on the cookbook as well, although it's terribly warm up there. So yeah, busy day, busy-ish day. I've had a couple of little rests. Not asleep though, no sleep for me today. Although I feel like I could do with it, frankly. But hey ho, so Paul should be in shortly and I'm going to make dinner then. So I'll see you later. Morning, Wednesday morning, another beautiful day. It's going to be a hot one again. The temperatures seem to be steadily rising towards the weekend when I think this heat wave is going to peak. Yeah, and as far as I can tell, sorry, I'm just being nosy. Again, another van parked in front of our house. Oh, getting so annoyed. They just think they can park across our drive as well. I mean, we know where they are, that's the thing. So if I need them to move, I can get them to move, but it's just so inconvenient, you know, and the amount of deliveries and the dust and the noise, it's just ridiculous. So, yeah. Anywho, yeah, next week, there isn't a sort of long-term forecast yet for next week, but it does appear to be starting to get cooler, back to the seasonal norm. So what is it at the moment? Let's see, hold on. So it's 27 degrees outside, 21 degrees inside. It's only 55% humidity, so it's not too bad. But I've got a couple of jobs I need to do this morning. I need to strip the bed, change the bedding, and also give the, what's it called? The mattress protector a wash as well. I do that every few months, but I try and choose a day when it's warm, so it will dry quickly so I can get it back on. And it's just after, well, no, it's about 8:10 now. The noise next door has just started, so I also need to do that now because I like to shut all the windows up. I open them all first thing, usually during the summer, so we can get the cool morning air inside the house, run any hot or warm, stale air out of the building. But I have to close the windows sort of at the front and the side because of the building dust. So I need to get that bed stripped now before that dust starts to come in, because inevitably it will do. Yeah. I'll just show you the proximity of the building area. It's just there. There's only this garage that separates us, so we do get a lot of dust coming in. I can tell as well because the blinds become more dusty more quickly. Anyway, let me strip the bed. Yeah. I'm going to put the new duvet cover on. There's nothing worse than stripping a bed, forgetting about it, and coming up later and realising you've got to change it. So I'm going to do that now. And the pillowcases. I'm going to put my fun IKEA purple. This was quite cheap, this one. And a friend of mine very snobbily said to me, I'd never buy anything that cheap. And actually I've got the last laugh, because we've had it so long that even though it was cheap cotton, not particularly high thread count, it's now really soft. And it's really strong. I'm using my method. I'm folding in to thirds actually in this case. And I stuff the duvet into the top section. And what I like to do is sort of feed it from this duvet to the next, this duvet cover to the next. Okay, so I'm going to get this in the washing machine on a 60 and get on with some other chores. So, and also I need to put this together as well. So I will see you, when will I see you next? Probably tomorrow for more cookery. So if not, I'll see you on Friday for the live show. So thanks very much for watching. See you soon.